the global balance of power is shifting. For decades, the G7, the group of the world's leading industrialized nations, has dominated the international stage. But now, a new bloc of countries is emerging as a powerful force in the global economy. Brics: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These 5 nations represent a significant portion of the world's population, landmass, and economic output. In this video, we'll explore the rise of Brics, its impact on the global economy, and what it means for the future. But first, let's delve into the phrase "more about" and its various contexts. Whether it's personal inquiry, advertising, language usage, fashion, communication, or advocacy, understanding more about can enhance our comprehension and engagement in these areas. The term BRIC was first coined in 2001 by Jim O'Neill, then chairman of Goldman Sachs Asset Management, in a research paper that highlighted the growth potential of Brazil, Russia, India, and China. O'Neill argued that these 4 countries, with their vast populations and rapidly expanding economies, would play an increasingly important role in the global economy in the 21st century. He predicted that by 2050, the BRIC economies could overtake the G7 economies in terms of size. The leaders of the BRIC countries first met informally on the sidelines of the G8 summit in 2006. In 2009, they held their first formal summit in Yekaterinburg, Russia. At this summit, the leaders agreed to establish a framework for cooperation on a range of issues, including trade, investment, and financial stability. They also pledged to work together to reform the global financial system. In 2010, South Africa joined the group, which then became known as BRICS. South Africa's inclusion was seen as a recognition of its growing economic and political influence on the African continent. With the addition of South Africa, BRICS now represents a truly global bloc of countries, spanning 3 continents and representing a wide range of cultures and political systems. The BRICS nations have been drawn together by a common desire to challenge the existing global order, which they see as being dominated by the West. They believe that the current system is unfair and does not adequately reflect their growing economic and political clout. They are also united by a shared commitment to promoting economic development and reducing poverty in their own countries. The BRICS nations have made significant progress in achieving their goals. They have established a number of institutions to promote cooperation, including the New Development Bank, NDB, the Contingent Reserve Arrangement, CRA, and the BRICS Business Council. The NDB, which is headquartered in Shanghai, provides funding for infrastructure and sustainable development projects in BRICS and other emerging economies. The CRA is a mechanism that provides financial support to members facing balance of payments difficulties. The BRICS Business Council is a platform for business leaders from the 5 countries to discuss ways to promote trade and investment. The BRICS nations have experienced significant economic growth in recent decades. China, in particular, has emerged as a global economic powerhouse, with the world's 2nd largest economy after the United States. India is also experiencing rapid economic growth and is projected to become the world's 3rd largest economy by 2030. Brazil, Russia, and South Africa have also made significant economic strides, although they have faced some challenges in recent years. There are a number of factors that have contributed to the economic success of the BRICS nations. One factor is their large and growing populations, which provide a vast pool of consumers and workers. Another factor is their abundance of natural resources, such as oil, gas, minerals, and agricultural products. The BRICS nations have also benefited from globalization and the rise of global trade, which have opened up new markets for their goods and services. The BRICS nations have not been immune to economic challenges, however. The global financial crisis of 2008 to 2009 had a significant impact on their economies, as did the subsequent slowdown in global growth. More recently, the COVID-19 pandemic has also had a negative impact on their economies. Despite these challenges, the BRICS nations remain committed to working together to promote economic growth and development. They have taken steps to strengthen their economic ties, such as by increasing trade and investment between their countries. They have also worked together to address common challenges, such as climate change and poverty. The economic performance of BRICS nations is closely watched by the rest of the world, Their growth has implications for global trade patterns, commodity prices, and investment flows. As these countries continue to develop, their economic influence is likely to increase even further. The BRICS grouping has garnered significant attention in recent years, particularly as its members have sought to expand the bloc's reach and influence. This expansion has been driven by a desire to create a more multipolar world order, one where power is more evenly distributed among nations and regions. The inclusion of new members has been a key part of this strategy. In 2023, the BRICS nations announced their decision to invite 6 new members to join the bloc: Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. This expansion, which took effect on January 1, 2024, has significantly increased the bloc's geopolitical weight and economic potential. The inclusion of these new members reflects a strategic calculation on the part of the existing BRICS nations. Each new member brings its own unique strengths and perspectives to the table, further diversifying the bloc's economic and political base. For instance, the addition of Saudi Arabia and the UAE, two of the world's largest oil producers, significantly enhances the bloc's energy clout. The expansion has also extended BRICS's geographic reach, encompassing major players from Africa, the Middle East, and Latin America. This broader representation strengthens the bloc's claim to be a voice for the developing world, challenging the traditional dominance of Western-led institutions like the G7. However, the expansion also presents challenges. Integrating such a diverse group of countries with varying economic structures, political systems, and foreign policy priorities will require careful navigation and a commitment to consensus building. The expansion of BRICS has sent ripples throughout the international system, prompting discussions about a potential shift in the global balance of power. It remains to be seen how effectively the expanded bloc will be able to leverage its collective weight to achieve its stated goals of reforming global governance, promoting development, and creating a more equitable and just world order. The BRICS nations have emerged as a powerful force for change in the global economy. They are challenging the existing global order and calling for a more equitable and just system that reflects the interests of developing countries. The BRICS nations are also working to promote economic development and reduce poverty in their own countries and around the world. One of the key ways in which the BRICS nations are reshaping the global order is through their efforts to reform the global financial system. The BRICS nations believe that the current system is unfair and does not adequately reflect their growing economic clout. They have called for reforms to give developing countries a greater voice in international financial institutions, such as the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. The BRICS nations are also working to promote trade and investment between their countries and with other developing countries. They have established a number of institutions to facilitate trade and investment, such as the BRICS Business Council and the New Development Bank. The BRICS nations are also working to reduce barriers to trade and investment between their countries, such as by negotiating preferential trade agreements. In addition to their efforts to reform the global financial system and promote trade and investment, the BRICS nations are also working to address a range of other global challenges. For example, they are working together to combat climate change, promote sustainable development, and improve global health. The BRICS nations are a diverse group of countries with a wide range of interests. However, they are united by a common desire to create a more just and equitable world order. The BRICS nations are a powerful force for change in the global economy, and their influence is only likely to grow in the years to come. The rise of BRICS is one of the most consequential developments in the 21st century. It reflects the shifting balance of power in the global economy and the growing influence of emerging markets. BRICS is not without its challenges, however. The member states have diverse political systems and economic interests, and navigating these differences will be crucial for the bloc's long-term success. Despite the challenges, the potential of BRICS is undeniable. If these nations can maintain their commitment to cooperation and dialogue, they have the potential to reshape the global order and create a more just and equitable world for all. The world is watching to see whether BRICS can deliver on its promise.